25% of the Central American forests have been lost to beef production, most of it for export to the United States, Canada, and Europe. It has been estimated that for every quarter pound of fast food hamburger made from Central American beef, 55 square feet of tropical rainforest, including 165 pounds of unique species of plant and animals, is destroyed. Today, the world's 1.3 billion cattle are stripping vegetation and compacting and eroding soil, thus creating deserts out of grasslands. More than 60% of the world's rangelands have been damaged by overgrazing during the past half a century. In the United States, cattle have done more to alter the environment of the West than all the highways, dams, strip mines, and power plants put together. In all major cattle-producing countries, wildlife habitat is being destroyed to create cattle pasture, as in the rainforests of Central America. In the United States and Australia, cattle ranching has resulted in the purposeful mass extermination of various species. Friend, this is a virtual war on wildlife. In Africa, millions of wild animals have died of thirst or starvation after finding their migratory paths blocked by fences built to contain cattle. Liz O'Neill, the state prosecutor, is visibly upset. "Judge, may I call another witness?" he says. This witness seems to have been hypnotized by the opposition. "I'd like to call to the stand Dr. Kao Chu, the health expert in the areas of eating meat for health. Dr. Chu, isn't it true that people need to eat beef in order to stay healthy?" Dr. Chu, who is of Chinese descent, replies, "In recent years, a growing number of physicians, athletes, bodybuilders, and others who are knowledgeable and concerned about health matters have reduced their consumption of meat or eliminated meat from their diets altogether. You see, beef contains significant quantities of the most toxic organic chemical known to man. It's called dioxin. Dioxin has been linked to cancer, attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity in children, reproductive system defects in children, chronic fatigue syndrome, immune system deficiency, and rare nerve and blood disorders. A single hamburger, for example, contains up to 100 picograms of dioxin. That is 300 times as much as the Environmental Protection Agency says is acceptable for a daily dose for an adult. The dioxin comes from the microscopic particles of ash from incinerators that have settled on grass and crops eaten by the beef, cattle, pigs, and chickens. All farm animals are affected, even herds grown on quote-unquote all-natural feed. Friend Liz O'Neill is really upset this time. "Your Honor, this is not getting us anywhere. I'd like to change the tactic of the prosecution and call to the stand an expert on chickens who will tell us why we should eat more chicken. I now call Mrs. Henrietta Peck, the federal government advisor to the chicken industry. Hen Peck, please tell us why we ought to eat more chicken." Well, Hen Peck is a little woman with strong bifocal lens in her glasses. She begins. Consumption of chicken has increased dramatically in the last 2 decades. The average North American eats over 50 pounds of chicken each year, which is twice the amount that was consumed 20 years ago. Most people see chicken as a healthy alternative to beef and as a low-fat and wholesome part of their diet. If you add the fact that chicken is cheap, versatile, and fast, the unassuming bird seems to be the ideal entree. Liz O'Neill rubs his hand in glee. "Now we're talking," he says with a triumphant laugh. This is the kind of witness I was hoping to get. Go on, Henny. Henpeck gave him a frosty look at the familiarity he took in calling her Henny. Nevertheless, she decided to be professional and continued with her testimony. She says, "This bird that is held in such high regard in our diets is responsible for over 1,000 deaths and between 70 to 80 million illnesses each year in the U.S. alone." The prosecution shouts, "Now hold on a minute. Please don't forget that you're our witness." "I wouldn't forget, but I have to speak the truth," Henrietta Peck says primly. She goes on. Time magazine has called chicken one of the most dangerous items in the American home. Recent reports tell us that over 30% of U.S. chicken is contaminated with salmonella, and 62% is contaminated with Campylobacter. These two pathogens cause 80% of the illnesses and 75% of the deaths associated with meat consumption. This is according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, or the USDA. The chickens we eat are overweight, overgrown, and unhealthy. Yet people happily throw buffalo wings, chicken breasts, drumsticks, and frozen dinners into their shopping carts, blind to the realities of eating this popular bird. In 1991, the Atlanta Constitution did a special report on the poultry industry. Of the 84 federal poultry inspectors interviewed, 81 of them said that thousands of birds, tainted or stained with feces, which a decade ago would have been condemned, well, these are now rinsed and sold daily. 75 of those inspectors said that thousands of diseased birds pass from processing lines to stores every day. Poultry plants often salvage meat, cutting away visibly diseased or contaminated sections and selling the rest as packaged wings, legs, or breasts. These inspectors says practically every bird now, no matter how bad, is salvaged. Friend, this meat is not wholesome. I would not want to eat it. I would never in my wildest dreams buy cut-up parts at a supermarket today. According to a report by the United States Department of Agriculture, the USDA, more than 99% of chicken carcasses are contaminated with E. coli bacteria by the time they reach the market. That's 99%. 99%. An honest look at the nutritional value of chicken reveals that chicken meat is not low in fat, as many people think. Not even close. The other fact of chicken you might find shocking is that it contains a lot of cholesterol. In fact, pound for pound, chicken pretty much has the same amount of cholesterol as beef. Considering the heart disease is the #1 killer in North America, this should give us some serious thought to take chicken off our diet. Because chickens are now raised to grow so large, their flesh today contains 3 times as much fat as it did 35 years ago. To promote faster growth, the most toxic form of the poison arsenic is used in chicken feed. Yes, I said arsenic. That, as you know, is the infamous poison that murderers have successfully used in larger quantities over the years. The National Institutes of Health warns that chicken flesh typically contains this arsenic in smaller quantities. It is a cancer-causing chemical.